What's happening, guys? Today we're going to discuss only 3 baits that you can take anywhere in the country, whether it be a pond, lake, or river, and still catch crappie. So y'all stick around. So it's definitely been a long time no see for my subscribers. And, I had a couple distractions, if you will, from me putting out anything on this channel and anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're really going to step back from a lot of the things that distracted us from doing our YouTube channel. And we're going to get back into it, okay? So I want to start off by discussing these 3 baits. And these 3 baits you can use anytime, anywhere to catch crappies, okay? So, most of these baits, you might have your opinion on what you like to use. Certain lakes and certain places, they hit this, but they won't hit that. So, I mean, that's a fact anywhere, regardless of who you talk to. But some baits are just proven all across the board. And we're going to discuss these 3 that I've picked out. And that has caught me a lot of crappies, fishing from this lake to this lake to this lake. So, we're going to start off by just a straight shad, okay? Straight tail shad, stinger shad. These are called the Predator Shad by Venom Lures. And I'm always going to start off with something natural, okay? Now, we're not talking about spider rigging. I'm talking about casting to structure. I'm always going to start off with something natural, okay? I believe this color is pearl, okay? So it don't have any, black flake in it or, anything like that. It's just a basic straight-tailed shad, okay? And you can rig this up any way you want to. If you're casting, obviously you go rig that with a jig head. Even if you're spider rigging, you're going to rig that with a jig head. And you can tip that with the minnow as well, okay? So that's going to be my number 1 bait right there to start off with. Obviously, watercolor is going to determine whether or not you need to start off with just straight white, white and chartreuse tail, whatever colors that you have. There's so many colors out there that it's ridiculous. So you don't have to buy all these colors to be able to catch them, okay? So that's going to be number 1 right there. Straight-tailed shad, okay? Number two has caught me many a fish. And it's just going to be a basic tube, okay? Now, this here is the Electric Purple by Venom Lures. And that color, the camera's not doing it any justice, but that color right there is sick. It's killer. Okay? It's got a small profile. Sometimes when this right here is just not doing it, you can pull this out and you can see the difference. When that bait's swimming through the water this way, it's got a girthy end to it right there. But this is pretty much just the same, I guess, width all the way down it besides the tail. The tail here is going to do whatever it's going to do. But this here, I like to use this for docks, honestly. A tube and docks just seems to be, that's just what you need to throw. I guess because that slow fall and it's got all these tails moving And you know, when you want to give a little bit of action in the water, you can just dead stick it there, and it's still going to have a lot of action to it. Okay. Now the third bait, I have discussed this before, actually in I think it's fall crappie baits, I believe, one of my first videos I ever did. And it's any type of spinner bait, and this one in particular is going to be a Beetle spin, okay? This is the 1/32 ounce Beetle spin. That's my favorite size to use all around, is a 1/32 ounce Beetle spin. You can always go up. I've got some, let's see, let me get the crankbait off of it. You can always go up to a 1/8. You know, it just really just depends on how deep the water is or where the crappies are. But in my opinion, this one right here always shines more than this one right here. Why? I don't know. I've caught a lot of them off of it. You can still, you know, you can leave the original body on there. Sometimes, you know, the body that comes with the Beetle spin is perfectly fine. I think if you're fishing, you know, bluegill beds, even crappies while they're on beds, it's a good tactic. But if you just want to up the game a little bit, you can put you a little curly tail grub on there. I can't remember what brand curly tail grub that is, but again, more natural color, and you could dip that tail in some Spike It and give it a chartreuse tail, give it a different look. You can throw this on 2 to 4 pound test line is what I like to use. I feel that the 1/32 with the 6 pound test is just not, it's not enough. So then, you know, that's why you grab your 1/8 and, you know, see what happens there. But that's going to be number 3, guys. You know, all these baits, you know, you can rig them up on this guy right here. So we can take this grub off. And let's say if they wanted something just a little bit smaller in profile, you can always take that tube and push it up on there. And then you got a totally different bait. What I like to do when I'm rigging up a tube is, see, I'm going to hook it more in the meat of the tube, okay? I'm not going to have the hook come way out here, because I feel like if a fish grabs it, see, I can't, it's hard for me to pull it off. It's starting to now, but it's easier just to push that back on versus having to take it all the way off and do it that way. So I always put it kind of through the meat right there, okay? Now, if you're using like a stinger shad, straight tail shad, I think, honestly, you would want to go up in size with your Beetle spin because of the size of the hook. You can hook it this way, okay? You know, there's not a lot of hook point exposed right there. I mean, it'd still get the job done. But I would recommend taking it and putting it on its flat side. And hooking it straight through the flat side. And see, now I have a totally different profile, okay, versus this. Totally different profile. And I've got more hook exposure coming out of that bait. So if you're going to use something small, I definitely recommend that. You know, take the spinner off in general. If you're going to use something that light, because sometimes they want that slow fall, okay? Hook it that way. I mean, your hook point, I couldn't tell you a percentage, but your hook point is coming out way more than this way. You know, if you have a bigger Beetle spin, it's really not going to matter. So we're going to take this grub off here, and we're going to hook it like you normally would. And see, you got plenty of hook exposure right there. I think honestly doing it the flat side, you might have just a tad bit too much if you're fishing around cover, and you might get hung up just a little bit more than what you usually would. But usually with the Beetle spin, you're not going to get hung up as bad. But you can still give that a try, because see, we got a totally different bait here. You know, totally different profile. Then when you turn it back around, this is actually on the bottom, but still, same concept. You know, there's 3 different baits right there, guys. I mean, you know, you got the belly going towards the top. You can fish it this way with the hook coming up this way. And you can fish it that way. So that's just my take on it, guys. If I had to only pick 3 baits, and it didn't matter where I was going, but this is all I could bring, just a tackle box slam full, different colors, obviously. That's the only 3 baits I'm going to bring. You know, obviously, live bait is going to outfish artificials. But if I had to choose, that's going to be my 3 baits. Especially during the summer months, I feel like a small profile bait, that's going to catch you some big crappie, and that's going to catch you a lot of numbers crappie. So I hope you like this short video. We're definitely going to get the channel going back again. Like I said, had some distractions from it. So we're really going to get it back to where it needs to be. You know, my goal is to get 1,000 subscribers, okay? We're almost at 450. If I would have been putting out videos, then we probably could be almost at 1,000 subscribers by now. But hey, you know, that's my fault. So if you like what you see, think about liking the video. And if you really, really like what you see, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out, makes me want to make more videos. So until next time, tight lines and God bless.